Hello, happiest of days to each of you folks for you. I hope you guys are just having an absolutely amazing day, one of the best in your lives. And if not, you will be by the time this video or day is over with. For you folks, alright. So I have been recently doing some novels in the Forgotten Realms genre, going back and reading a few of those things, that sort of thing. As a reminder, my favorite fantasy growing up when I was a kid was fantasy, the other three genres that we covered. My favorite fantasy, my favorite genre, and then also my first favorite author was J.R. Tolkien, and my second one was R.A. Salvatore. Picked up from this, and in fact, when I recently moved back home, I actually had entire box of R.A. Salvatore stuff. All right, so my first thing, I was born in '76, and that sort of a thing. So my first sort of, after reading the Tolkien stuff and going back to Anne McCaffrey and Fred Seabury, some of the next things I read as they were published were the Dragonlance trilogy, Chronicles by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, that beloved best-selling stuff. I've gone back and read that a few times here and there, and actually read that for the channel too, so you can check it out. And then also, I also, just as soon as it was published, and the Forgotten Realms stuff, I would pick up that novel and then just go ahead and read it. I did that with Clark Walker Moonshade, Douglas House, put them on the map and read her away, read all the stuff, love it lots, but I don't go back and reread it historically. And then I did the same thing for the next one, Crystal Shard, R.A. Salvatore stuff. I picked it up as soon as I did, but I do go back and read it every few years. And I've actually gone back and read 10 of those novels just a couple of years ago for this channel. So you can check them out too if you're interested. And then on the next one to get published was Spellfire by Ed Greenwood. He was the guy who created the Forgotten Realms, not even as a campaign module, not even for Dungeons & Dragons, it's actually pro that, and then he adapted it to the Dungeons & Dragons world. He sold it for a nominal fee with the idea of writing a bunch of stuff for it, like books, supplemental books, and that sort of thing too. So he does. They write in the first book, show us the realms. And he does. He writes a great book. It's hacked to pieces by them, by like a third. But he does, and it's great. I just went recently. I would go back and reread that because he has sort of guts that is free to core, even though a book was heavily criticized. But I've actually gone back and read that collected his collector's edition, expanded edition with his original script. Good stuff. And then the next thing that I did for you folks, that I would go back and read is the Pools series, from Pool of Radiance, Pool of Darkness, Pools of Twilight, and that sort of thing too, based on the Pool of Radiance novels, game, and such. And so I've read that one, and I'll regularly go back to it. And I figured while I'm in a Realms novel mood, I knock out some stuff I don't want to go back. So I did the one I didn't like that much of the time. I liked to even let this know. Avatar series from 1989. It was considered this epic must read. Right? It's got epic adventures, epic stories, epic things that are going to happen. You gotta read it in order to change the realms. I read it at the time. It was published by different authors, and that sort of thing. But I didn't like it as much. But I gone back and read it and plus the 2 sequels. Just talking about. If you're again, while I'm in a Realms mood and knocking out things I didn't knock out, let's knock out the Empire Trilogy. And this is David Cook's Horselords from 1990s, the first one. Now, I remember this isn't as epic a plot line and that sort of a thing, but you like it. I always felt that it was the better written of the two. And that sort of a thing. And again, by 3 different authors. That sort of thing. Now, Horselords is about 300. It's a little shorter. It's just over 300 pages long, about 314 pages long. It's about 5 pages long, so that's how I remember it. It took me very little time to get back into it. It's very well written. So the idea is that this is when they have in the Forgotten Realms will have their Mongol horde invasion. If that makes sense. It starts off in the steppes. That's where we're going to be starting off with these things. He's just our primary person on this, and that sort of thing. Links below. Has just united the various clans and clans together under his banner, and he's about to launch his attack. Our point of view character is a monk from Khazari, which is basically the name for India, and that sort of a thing too. And so basically he's going to start marching south towards this guy's lands, and that sort of thing. So it's good stuff, but basically I enjoy it. too. I enjoy all the deeper dives that David Cook did into the cultures at the time. And that sort of a thing too. I think the characterizations is great. You know, again, not as epic a feel. Yes, it does have all those. It does have some bigger battles, but it's more of a political drama. It's got lots of things and such too, and that sort of thing. I think David Cook knocks it out of the park. I'm giving it an 8.5. Now the other two, I don't remember. I remember the second one not liking it as much. There's not much happened. But the third one I remember liking too. So next is Dragonwall, and then Crusade for you folks. Alrighty. Well, this is Horselords, a great start by David Cook. He knocks this out of the park in a major way for you folks. And so again, published in 1990, an 8.5, linked below. Now, so have you read it? Let me know what your thoughts are again. Again, I didn't give you spoilers or anything like that, so I'm not doing a deeper dive into it. Also, as a reminder, I'm not a trained critic of literature, right? I didn't study English. I didn't study literature. No. So that means that your opinion is going to be just as valid as mine is, right? So I'm definitely going to be I'm not coming from a place of experience. And that sort of thing. I'm just a fan like you are. So check it out. Let me know what your thoughts are too. And there we go. For you folks, all up and down the block. So, as a reminder, I do 3 of these reviews of these older things in the 3 genres that we cover: fantasy, science fiction, and horror. And then on Wednesday, I do something called Video Game Wednesday, where I do older video games. On Monday, I do older reviews of things like Dungeons & Dragons modules. Right now, I'm doing the module series from the UK. I've done things by Gary Gygax stuff. I've also done Battletech stuff, Middle Earth, role-playing, review that stuff too. And then on Saturday, something called Serial Saturday, which is dedicated to the forgotten storytelling genres, right? Of film and TV serials, like Flash Gordon's, or I just did the Zorro series and that sort of thing too. So you can check it out too. So if those things sound like your cup of tea, then great. Welcome to the channel. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit. And while you're here, why not do all the YouTube stuff too? Like hit the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. Hit the bell icon to be notified of those videos. Be able to share it and watch. Those are the key ways through it too. Alrighty. So there you go for you folks. As you can tell from those older things, that's the passions, even where the name comes from too. It's a quote by a French philosopher named Jacques Joubert, who says that the worst thing about them was, and they kept us from reading the old ones. Not that the new ones are bad, they're not. But in our pursuit of the new novels, the new video games, the new movies, we have forgotten that these things are standing on the shoulders of giants. So let's check out those giants, right? Also, one of my first strengths in Strengths Quest, a positive psychology approach to your psychology types, is context. I appreciate something more the more I know about it. Right? Well, Gary Gygax in Appendix 1 for the first edition of Dungeons & Dragons, he lists Appendix N all of his sort of influences. And so I've gone back and read a bunch of those things in my life and I've appreciated them more. And also, I've done a bunch of those reviews, however the channel did, right? So that's also where I think I'm switching. Alrighty, so there you go. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I just want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my videos, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.